In this edition of the Jig Life, I've traveled from Anchorage out to Shulin Lake, out in the Matsu Valley. I'm based out of Shulin Lake Resort and staying here with Val and Jason Headley, the owners of Shulin Lake Resort. I'm going to be floating the Talachulitna River, a wild and scenic adventure with Aileron Outfitters and Alex Perez. Get prepared to see the real backcountry of Alaska as we target Dolly Varden char and Arctic grayling and rainbow trout all on jigs. It's going to be a great time. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned.
It's a beautiful day in Alaska. We just flew from Anchorage out to Shulin Lake Lodge, and I'm just getting the chance to meet Valerie and Jason.
Nice
Valerie,
to meet you. Thank you.
It was a beautiful trip so far today. Thank you.
Real pleased to have you out here. Welcome to Shulin Lake.
At first impression, this place is pretty spectacular. It's more than I expected.
Yeah. Very good.
We appreciate that. We're proud of it and happy to have the place and be a part of Shulin Lake out here.
So tell us a little bit. You've been here for 3 years, bought the place 3 years ago?
Yeah, we bought the place 3 years ago. We've had an opportunity to do some work on it and didn't need to do much to it. It was still a beautiful place when we first saw it, and we kind of knew right away that it was a perfect fit for us and what we wanted to do for our next chapter, our next adventure. And it's so far as it's been a great fit for us.
So tell us a little bit about your background. What brings you from South Dakota to Alaska for the next chapter?
You know, I think our story really in Alaska began about 30 years ago. We came up, actually 31 years now, we came up on our honeymoon
Nice.
and spent the 10 days visiting the entire state. And over the past 30 years, we have our 4 boys, and we've come up every couple of summers to have them fish. They're great outdoorsmen. They have the love of the outdoors for sure, hunting, fishing, really any kind of activity. And so really essentially, even 30 years ago, we knew that Alaska was really a special place and that at some point we'd like to call it home. And so when the opportunity came up 3 years ago, we just really knew that this was something special.
That's excellent. So walk me through what a season looks like. When do the guests start arriving?
Well, you know, you start off a business with a game plan, and sometimes you just crumple that up and throw it out the door. And so we started off thinking, you know, like what we're used to down on the Kenai was you had summer fishing. That was basically your season, right? You show up, do some fishing, and you call it good. But as this is a whole different location out here in central Alaska, and we found that being remote has its challenges, but it's also has its benefits, to where the snow machine season actually is growing for us, where we've got locals that they hit the trails out here, come out and visit. We've got people from the lower 48 now that are coming up. We had people from Canada this last year that came out, and because there wasn't a lot of snow or enough snow down in Canada, but they came out, and we had a great time. So we're kind of evolving where we have bookend seasons now with the snow machine season. It's not just fishing for us, and we're finding the fishing as the restrictions come and go with the state for what we can and can't fish, but we're finding ways to find success fishing, but also now adding hunting to our business plan. And then also the snow machine season. So we're finding that we're going to be out here a lot more than we thought we were going to be. So, which is great. It's a beautiful place to be. So.
Well, that's for most Alaskan businesses that cater to people visiting, let's say, it is a short season.
Right.
I mean, you're lucky if you open up in May and close up by September or October. So to be open virtually year round, that makes it a lot more accessible. So to to speak to that point, what are the wide range of activities that are, so hunting, fishing, but I know there's a lot more going on around here. What else are you doing?
Well, I think we'd like to consider ourselves really the Alaska's all adventure, one stop, all adventure stop. We have the hunting, we have the fishing, we do the snow machining, but then also we have gold panning. We have 19 gold claims, so when our guests come out, they can spend their time fishing, and perhaps maybe part of the group doesn't want to fish or have had their share of fishing, they can go gold panning. We have several ATVs they can take out and go out on the trails ATVing. We have our pontoon, so lake fishing is something we enjoy doing. In the evenings, we do an evening booze cruise. It's beautiful, especially this time of year when in the summer when the evening it stays light so long and really the days are extended. We have an indoor golf simulator. So for those people, and also a hunting simulator.
What?
And then we can do a sport clay pigeon. What do you call that?
Trap shooting.
Trap shooting.
And
then we have a special treat is the wood-fired hot tub and sauna. And so really it's if there's something special that you're looking for, we'd like to think that we have the prettiest trails to go hiking, biking. And so we're really something for everybody.
Boy, it sounds like it. Anna, if I'm not home, I'm out here, okay?
Come and join us.
Did you hear all that?
Right?
Yeah.
It really is a wonderful place to be.
Yeah.
And so we just feel very fortunate. And so like when we first started and how we said our vision has evolved, that really wasn't in the picture until we got out here and really seen all the beautiful things. And no, we want to be here in the winter. We want to be here in the summer. It really is a cool place.
Alaska gets in your blood that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does.
And then, 25 years I've published Fish Alaska, and I've been a fish fanatic all those years. And I'm here to tell you that Alaska is so much more than about just fishing.
Right.
Okay, take the time, see the sights, soak it in. This is such a unique place in so many different ways. So you are blessed to have such a sweet spot. Yeah.
We think so too.
We're here for the hardcore fishermen and women, but yet you can bring your loved one or friends with that maybe aren't. And if they're just learning to fly fish, what a great place to be. And it's okay if you catch a tree or two. That we all do that, right?
Of course.
So, it's a great place to get out to, and but you don't have to be that hardcore person. We have other activities that you can do and find fun and enjoy your time, or just relax and enjoy the view and the place.
Yeah, the view here, just looking outside is good enough for me, right? I mean, sit on the deck, read a book, just soak it in, unwind a bit, and then go out and catch a fish, or there's a par 3 hole over here, for goodness sakes.
I think one thing we like to also add is that we're family friendly.
Yeah.
Of course, we've raised our 4 boys and we're grandparents now, and we really want to provide an experience for the entire family, whether you have grandmas, grandpas, you have littles, that there's something for everybody, regardless of their age, to come out here and enjoy.
Outstanding. Yeah. You sent me a fairly significant questionnaire about food.
Right.
So you obviously take that quite seriously.
Right. I grew up in the food service industry, and this is one of our babies here, little Lou. So I grew up in the food service and hospitality industry, and so that's where my love of cooking came from. I just with all the all of our boys, and so it's been a work in progress. But I do love to cook. Right. I love to bake. I love to go out. Here's the season now. We can go and pick berries and make our jams and our breads, and so really, it's something that, like we said, if the ladies of the group don't really have an interest in fishing, let's go and do photography. Berry picking, jelly making, bread making, really something for everybody.
Right. That sounds wonderful. Well, this is going to be an exciting adventure. We've got a couple opportunities close by that we're gonna tap into here, see if we can catch some trout. And then we're going to do a 5-day float on the Talachulitna, based out of here. What an amazing experience to be able to have such a high-end lodge experience at the front end and get out. To me, the real wilderness experience is to be on a float trip.
Nothing like it.
That's the real wilderness experience,
Living it.
right? And then come back and enjoy a hot tub and a 5-star meal and, just a beautiful spot. So I think you got something special.
Well, good luck with your fishing.
Yes.
And,
I want to be safe.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, a little hot.
A little hot. You blame it on the club.
We're gonna bring a wedge to you next time.
Those extra ones.
The 7. That's a hard shot with a 7.
Yeah.
Well, you've quite the spread around here.
Yeah. Trying to. Keep things up and running and improve what they had if we can, but.
Yeah, the structures are beautiful, and then a wood-fired hot tub and a wood-fired sauna. That
We've
is.
had those brought up the last year, and just to add to the property.
You did it, huh? Nice.
Experience.
It's a nice move.
It's been great. They're super nice to have.
Yeah.
Out there, so, but yeah, I can show you around.
Yeah, let's go take a look around the.
The lodge here, and they started construction on this in 2005.
Okay.
And so 2005, and they finished up in 2010 is when they finished the construction on it. So it took them 5 years to complete the whole project out here. We have got 9 acres, and then we're surrounded by state land throughout. So, but just the concrete work, the concrete sidewalks, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
We don't have to manage gravel out here.
Yeah.
It's
We're I don't know, what would you say as the crow flies from Anchorage?
we're roughly 60 miles.
60 miles, and look at all the concrete that
Right.
was poured by.
Yeah, we're
is a-
30 to 35 miles from the closest gravel road.
This is a serious endeavor.
So the effort it took to put concrete in is pretty impressive. So
Well, it looks like they built it right.
yeah,
What a
it's a beautiful lodge.
beautiful building.
So we've got 6,000 square feet.
Yeah.
And 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms in there, and tons of space for different groups or families and different things we can do with that, entertaining. So, but we've got our boiler shack there that houses our utilities for heating the place and heating the sidewalks and heating the shop.
Did you hear that? Heated sidewalks. It's not really roughing it out here at Shulin Lake Resort.
Yeah, so I use my snowblower during the winter and barely need that. So, but the building right here is we call it our camp building, and this has 7 bedrooms in it and 3 bathrooms.
And your mascot.
Yeah, Louie, he's keeps the squirrels away. And the
Porcupines at bay.
Yeah, so keeps me busy.
Yeah.
Keeps him around too, but yeah. So we got the camp building has 7 bedrooms in it with a kitchen in it, and
So great spot for a whole bunch, everybody in one group to come here and have their own space.
yeah. So we got bigger fishing groups that want to come out and stay in one spot. We've got the place for them, our snow machiners during the winter season. We've got tons of space for them in this building.
Yeah.
This building here. So up on top, you can see we've got our 80 solar panels that we had installed 2 years ago. The whole system that now we don't have to run diesel. We don't have to run, fuel back and forth and burn all that. Just the quietness it has.
And all the hassle of having to get diesel and run it out here and constantly fill it and constantly worrying about having enough. And,
Right. So
then this feeds a batteries
So when we
bank.
have our home grid battery systems, that we've got 24 lithium batteries that just house the power, and generator doesn't have to run typically a couple times. Depends on how much we're using the system, but you get some cloudy days every once in a while. It'll kick in charge the batteries back up, and
Right. Right.
but otherwise it's so nice to have the peacefulness.
This must be the shop.
So this is our shop building. We've got heated floors in there. It's great, being out here in the middle.
You need it.
You need to have something to work in, and for groups coming in with snow machines or just to house your gear to keep things up and running. It's a great building to have out here.
So, Shulin Lake Resort is much more than a fishing lodge, okay? This is a year-round operation, offering all kinds of different activities for the whole family. We're talking about just going out and enjoying the lake, or gold panning, or playing the par 3, right? Or doing any number of fun activities that don't have to revolve around hunting and fishing. But if you are a hardcore angler or hunter, then there's a wide and diverse amount of opportunities out here.
But if that's not your thing, or you want to bring your significant other, they can enjoy the facilities
That's right.
here while you're out hunting and fishing.
Oh man, ready, set, go. We've been looking forward to this for months. We started talking about this back in January, and here we are out on Judd Lake. 4 hours, man. I am really looking forward
We're gonna have a blast.
to what we're gonna find. So we're gonna float for 5 days. Let me try that again. We're gonna float for 5 days, catch some fish. Yeah, you see our whole life is right here in front of us. This is the entire camp. Ron from Assistant Air just flew us over. So 14-foot NRS raft is broken down. We're going to set it up. We're going to put all our gear on it, and we're going to head out across the lake where the outlet of the beginning of the Talachulitna Creek starts. So we got about good 50 miles.
Yeah.
Yep, and then Ron will pick us up at the bottom end there on the Squentin runway in about 5 days. Stay tuned.
Living the Jig Life. Casting a little 1/8 ounce river jig, just slowly twitching it back, and I'm getting a bunch of Dolly Varden char to eat it. We're waiting to get started here on our float, and I'm just catching fish before we get going, getting warmed up. These are pretty thick. They're one of the more widely dispersed freshwater fishes in Alaska, the Dolly Varden char. It's a cousin of the trout and a cousin of the salmon. And there are multiple forms of northern and a southern form. I believe that the northern form, which are bigger, older. These fish here seem to be feeding on maybe baby dollies, maybe baby trout, maybe baby salmon. So get all 5 runs of salmon in the Talachulitna. We're at this inlet creek, just normally a good spot to catch fish. The food congregates, and we're seeing these fish blast on the surface. I caught some with, take a look at what we got here. Maybe a 16-inch fish. Beautiful. Look at the big pink spots on it. Anyway, as I was saying, the saw fish busting. And so I caught a few on a spinner, and then wanting to show off with the jig, get the Jig Life started. Even are. Look at the pink spots, and usually the difference between a Dolly Varden char and an Arctic char, Dolly Varden char has got a darker body and lighter spots, and the spots are typically smaller than the pupil of the eye, where the Arctic char would be a lighter body and darker spots, and the spots would be bigger. Oh, fun. That was fun. I like that. I think sometimes you get to reeling too fast when we're trying to catch fish. I think slowing down the presentation and giving them a chance to see it and eat it is a smart play. We watched a fish chase this twitching jig 3 times right to my feet. Now, if I bet you I was throwing something that looked like a smolt, they wouldn't hesitate. They would hammer it. I noticed they have a lot of teeth and they're sharp. There's one just splashed right there. These dogs are definitely feeding on other fish. Ooh, I don't know.
Just trying to let this sink to the bottom and then make slight twitches as I reel, make the jig swim back towards me. We know this drives salmon wild. Oh, on and off. That one felt decent. This style of jig fishing is called twitching. So, ooh, every couple handle turns, slight twitch. The fish like to eat on the drop. So a lot of times when you lift back up, you'll set. You won't feel it. Then you'll lift. Oh, did you see that? Let's get out on that one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, something's feeding out there. Oh yeah. That was a fun way to start this trip here. A little extra bonus. Welcome to the Jig Life, ladies and gentlemen.
Rainbow, baby. On the drift. Oh, great fish. Good. She's not all of yeah, look at her. Nice.
Okay, we just hooked up. It's bulldogging. I don't know. That's a rainbow, I think, just because it went airborne. Swimming at me. Okay, that's two and a couple of casts. I think we might have found the trout. We're catching rainbows and dollies and grayling. Easy, fella. This is a little, this is a Colorado-shaped blade by Thomas Lures. It's 1/4 ounce. I like brass and silver and gold. Single. Saw wash. You can kick that one out, Alex.
Check that out. Where did grayling? Look at the beautiful dorsal fin and the coloration. These are all living fish up there. They documented grayling over 30 years old when they're young. This one's probably it's definitely an adult fish. By the time they're 5 to 9 inches long, they're sexually mature.
Hello, my darling.
You know, it feels heavier, but I still think it's a grayling.
Oh, we won't know.
You see why we're wearing head nets here. The mosquitoes are thick.
The original Bug Shirt Company.
Beautiful.
They sent us a pair of these. Thank you very much. Taking a little lunch break here on day 2, floating the towel. Day 1 was wild. Water's up a little bit, and it was a wild ride, man. How you feeling?
Compared to yesterday, like a lot more relaxed.
Water's come down about a foot overnight, so day 2 has been pretty mellow so far. We've bumped into a few fish, and we're hungry, so we decided to take a break. How'd you get into doing this?
I think this is like an awesome way of life.
Yeah.
I pretty much live off of everything I kill and fish, and I get to share that experience with everyone that comes up to Alaska.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, that's pretty epic. And there's a difference between being a guide that's stationed at a lodge and is sleeping in a bed every night and is working maybe in a competitive environment, and this where we're the lodge is moving with us. What draws you to this style?
Well, we get to see so much ground. I mean, every little tributary that spins off of the main river or creek, that we can always just stop and fish and see what's poking behind the next floor. And it's hard to beat how beautiful Alaska is. Minus the mosquitoes right now.
Oh, the mosquitoes are part of the bargain. You'll see, look at his hands. That's that's all puffed up from all these bites. You see them all over his neck. You see them all over all of us. But you become one with the mosquitoes. You give them their pint of blood, and they still won't go away. This style of trip is just absolutely. I mean, it's amazing. You become one with the Alaskan nature. You get to, decide when you're going to stop, where you're going to fish, what you want to do, where your camp's going to be every night, and that flexibility is it's invigorating. I just landed another Arctic grayling, free drifting. A little small 16th ounce egg-sucking leech. Jig. Because this is the Jig Life after all. And when we're out here on some of these rivers, we're fishing for a mixed bag of species. And we knew that there'd be Arctic grayling and rainbow trout and possibly Dolly Varden char. These Arctic grayling really are one of those iconic trademark species of Alaska. It takes a lot of clean water, okay? And what's I found amazing about this species over some of the others is they can survive when there's less dissolved oxygen in the water. So the grayling have adapted themselves well to this environment, and this is the Arctic grayling, one of 6 different species. When they spawn, the eggs are 1/10 of an inch and fall down into the bottom gravel, and in just about 2 or 3 weeks they emerge, and they look like a 1/2 inch piece of thread with 2 eyeballs on it. And then they're voraciously feeding for the next 3 or 4 years of their life. Because these are slow growing fish. Fish and Game has them on record. The oldest one was over 30 years old. So the state record is 5 pound and a few ounce fish, which is gigantic for Arctic grayling. It was 24 inches long. This is maybe a 10-inch fish. This is maybe just to the point of being a sexually mature fish. When they do spawn, the females lay anywhere from, say, 1,500, 30,000 eggs, I read on the Fish and Game website. And another cool fun fact is that in some river systems, classes of fish end up in different places in the river. So the older fish find their way into the colder, deeper, slower sections upriver, and the subadults are in mid-river, and then the juveniles are down low where they can where it's warmer and they can get more food. Stay still, guy. But this beautiful dorsal fin sailfish of the north. Look at the blues, pinks, and the copper colored. It's just really a remarkably beautiful fish. And let's let it go. Okay. Be ready to roll. Day 3 of the float, we're having an awesome time. We just got below Devil's Canyon. That was a little bit hairball. There was a bunch of water in it, and Alex did a pretty sweet job of getting us through there unscathed. Adrenaline rush, that's for sure. So, fishing starting to get a little bit better down here below the falls. Brian just hooked into this rainbow. This one's looking pretty skinny. Maybe just a post spawner is what I would guess. We have rainbow trout all over the state of Alaska, and they're really a diverse species, and the way that they look and the spotting and how vivid the lateral line red stripe is, and their genetics kind of are, differ throughout the state. One thing in common with big rainbows is that systems that have a lake and have sockeye in it generally turn out bigger rainbows, but in terms of when they spawn and how often they spawn, that's kind of a system by system deal. In general, maybe by 3 or 4 years old, these would be considered freshwater resident trout, rainbow trout, because we also have saltwater going rainbow trout that are called steelhead. And these freshwater resident trout, maybe by 3 or 4 years old, they spawn. Fish and Game has got the oldest one at almost 11 years old. That fish would have spawned multiple times. But like I said, they feed on a wide range of things out here, from bugs to sculpin to other fish. When the salmon show up, it's hard to get them to think about anything else but salmon, and that might be smolt or eggs. So drifting beads is really popular in Alaska. And then when those salmon carcasses die, then they start to put a bunch of protein, a bunch of flesh into there, and then we can fish flesh flies, and that's really productive for rainbow trout. Most widely sought trout in the world, okay? We'll show you some other specimens as we go here. We got down below the falls and the angling is picking up a bit. A bunch of grayling and a few rainbows now have come to hand. Brian's on fire with a spoon. Just caught this dandy little beauty. We'll just leave him in the net for you to see. Look at the spotting on this fish. It extends past the lateral line all the way down into the belly. Each one of these really is unique, like a snowflake. Everywhere I go around Alaska, the rainbows look different, from leopard rainbows in the west to these kind of moderately spotted. And you get into some of these lake systems and they're bright silver. You have a hard time telling what they are, but here we are on the Towel catching wild, beautiful rainbow trout. Look like this. A red band on here and on the gill plate. Just a gorgeous specimen. New line and a stiffer rod. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we just hooked up on a mouse. Rainbow's eating mice. It has been a wild and fantastic ride floating down the Talachulitna, and this Jig Life episode has been a special one. And just want to thank, first of all, Valerie and Jason Headley at Shulin Lake Resort and Alex Perez at Aileron Outfitters. I want to say a special thanks to my good buddy Brian Wubank for all the time and the effort and the great work behind the camera. And just to the other two flight companies that got us out here, Trail Ridge Air, longtime client of Fish Alaska Magazine, thank you, and Susitna Air as well. So it's not always about the fish in Alaska. We've got to open our eyes and see all the amazing things like you'll see in this video, the float, the experience of being on a wild river, the variety of fish, being out in the elements. That's what Alaska is truly about. And I'm glad to have brought it to you in this episode of the Jig Life. See you next time.